Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. And I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. And Brody is walking around, so I apologize if he's hitting the camera or hitting the blinds over here, but that's just where we're filming today. So today's video is just going to be just a life update, a chit chat, very informal. I just kind of want to update you all if you're interested in where Chris and I's life is at the moment and what we've been up to and kind of, what my thoughts are moving forward and all that kind of stuff. So to start off, I know I've made some previous videos talking about Faire, which is the wholesale platform. And to be completely honest, we have been doing really, really, really well on Faire. It's been an overwhelmingly positive experience so far, I would say. We've had a total of, I want to say, 22 or 23 orders since we first got on the platform about 3 weeks ago or something like that. So it's been absolutely amazing. We've been very, very busy every single day. And he also works separately at another job a couple days a week as well. And so we've just been kind of really, really busy every day. And, I feel like this time has just completely flown by. And I feel like it's very conflicting because so I am going to be 33 weeks pregnant tomorrow, and I feel almost guilty that I'm focusing so much on work that this time is just flying by, and I don't want to mentally disconnect or anything from this pregnancy, which I don't find myself doing at all because I know that I'm pregnant. I'm reminded all the time. He reminds me. He's extremely active all the time. So it's not like I'm purposefully trying to do that, but before we know it, I mean, it's the end of the day and it's we're trying to wind down or we're finishing up some stuff. And granted, I wouldn't change that for the world. I really wouldn't. But I'm trying to find this balance already between, the business and working on the business, and then also just being really in the moment and really being there. And, it's been a little bit of a challenge. It definitely has been. I've tried to take moments out of the day to really just connect with him and, make sure that we're still talking to him and focused on him. And there's also the aspect of, my push and pull of just loving and wanting to keep going with the business and keep growing. And we are doing just so much right now and preparing so much for, the busiest time of the year, but also for this new season and transition of becoming parents and having a baby. And it's a lot, but I don't know. I feel like it's something that, so many people go through, whether that's they're running their own business or they're working their job and then they're trying to figure out, how they're going to be able to balance that and childcare and all that kind of stuff. I feel like no matter what, there's going to be sacrifices in life, no matter what decisions you choose to make, because, of course, with us being in a small space and, not necessarily being in the most ideal environment, I do also understand that there could be situations that are way worse, and I'm super grateful for where we are. And I recently made a list in my journal of just everything that I'm grateful for, because sometimes you can lose yourself in your day-to-day and all the things that are going on and all the stresses and everything that's going on. And just to read that list, it just brings me back to this perspective of just being so happy with what we've built so far, regardless of if it's perfect in the moment for, our situation and all that kind of stuff. I'm just very, very thankful for where we are at right now, regardless of if we don't have a house and all that kind of stuff. But we're making it work. Chris is even in the candle room right now trying to make things even more efficient and trying to move things around, because today is Monday and Mondays are getting orders shipped out day. So we have our wholesale orders, and then we also have our website orders off of memoryboxcandleco.com. So any retail orders are getting packaged up and shipped out. Any wholesale orders are most of the time on Sundays. They're most of the time packaged up a little bit, but then actually getting them finished, packaged up, shipping label printed out, and everything like that happens on Mondays, and then taking everything to the post office. And that can take quite a bit of time in the morning, depending on how many orders we have. And, Chris is mainly the one that is packaging up all the orders and everything now, and making sure that everything is not going to melt and not going to break and all that kind of stuff during transit. So it can take, a good amount of time on Monday mornings, which is what we've kind of learned over the past few Mondays, because this has been our third Monday of having at least, I think we had 6 or 7 wholesale orders this morning going out, and then the week before, I believe it was around the same, and then the week before that, I think we had 9 or something like that, because that was after the fair market and everything. And I know that it's also a little bit more of a I don't want to say struggle. I just want to say maybe obstacle, because it's so hot. It's in the middle of summer. So there's extra precautions we need to take. We're trying to ship out only on Mondays, which is kind of cramming everything all together. So I feel like once we kind of get past the heat wave and we're able to kind of ship out on different days during the week, it's going to really help to break up that kind of weekend work that we've been doing over the past few weekends. And even with all this work, I have found myself waking up pretty early. We've been waking up pretty early in the mornings. I think this morning we got up around 5:45. I usually wake up between 5:30 and 6:30, mainly because I'm just kind of over it at that point. Just a little bit uncomfortable sleeping now. So I get excited when I start to see the sun shine through, and I'm like, cool, it's pretty much time to get up, and I can get up and get my day started. And I do also take naps during the day. So I took a nap about an hour ago. So I am taking care of myself. I am not just, completely forgetting that I need to take care of myself and rest or anything like that. Chris is doing all the main work, all the heavy lifting, all of that. I'm just doing a lot of like the back end computer work, and then things like trimming wicks, labeling candles, things that are easier to do, and don't require any heavy lifting or anything. But another thing that I've been really preparing for is like a maternity leave, kind of, I guess you could say, because in my head, I'm like, okay, so I don't want to just completely fall off of YouTube and not post anything. So I'm starting to kind of have a pre-filmed videos that I'm going to put up during that at least the first month after he's here, so that I don't have to worry about it. I know that YouTube videos are going up, and when it comes to wholesale orders and stuff like that, we'll probably increase the lead time on wholesale orders by a lot, just to give us that buffer of getting orders out, because I know that it's going to be an adjustment period during that time. And so there's just different things that I'm starting to think of right now. So I'm starting to think of, okay, so it's getting there. We're getting there. It's getting closer. And it is feeling definitely like it's getting closer. But also I'm like, well, like if time wants to slow down, it's totally fine, because we still have some baby stuff that we need to get in. And then of course I'm going through the whole process, or the whole feelings right now of like wanting to nest and wanting to have everything, and we don't really have like everything for the baby out and ready yet, which I know we still have time. I get that this is probably something that a lot of people go through, that, you know, it's usually till like the very end that everything really gets set up and all the stuff is there. But just internally, it's just like this desire to have everything and be ready and all that kind of stuff, which I know we will be, but it's, you know, it's that want, it's that desire. But then I'm also like, okay, so I need to take this time, you know, the next month or so, and really focus on preparing for the maternity leave, preparing videos, preparing content as much as I can. I mean, I've been trying to record as much as I can to have content for Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And just so that, you know, it's not something that's in the back of my mind. I also want to make sure that I get all of my, you know, tax situation good to go. My QuickBooks is updated. And then I'm not, you know, worried about tax season. That's the last thing that I want to have to worry about. So I'm going to have to go on and make sure that everything is good to go there. And the only other thing is I have one more digital product that I'm wanting to complete and be able to put out before the maternity leave. I'm hoping I'll be able to do that. And I'm really, really proud of myself for using my planner, my digital planner, as much as I have, considering the more ADHD kind of brain that I have and how distracted and all over the place I can be. But this planner has just been a lifesaver, and I've had to use it. Same thing with Inventora too, for the wholesale orders. I mean, we have to be organized, and I am not an organized person, but in this situation with everything that we're doing, like Chris and I have to communicate. We have to be organized with all this. Thankfully, he is extremely organized, and I am learning and trying to be better with organization. So luckily, we've been working really well together. I mean, we're spending almost all day, every day, except for when he's at his other work for a couple days a week. But other than that, like, we are pretty much together most of the time. But luckily, we work really well together, and I'm super grateful that we're both home and we're both, you know, able to work on this business together and, you know, go through this experience together, especially with all these wholesale orders and learning it together and trying to get it figured out. And man, the one thing that I was not, well, it wasn't that I wasn't well, I guess, yeah, no, I wasn't expecting it. It just wasn't something that I was thinking about, was how much more money we're spending on supplies. You know, like, you have to basically spend money to make money kind of thing, you know? So I'm spending a ton of money on labels and fragrance oils and shipping supplies and jars and, you know, all the stuff that goes into making candles, because you need more supplies in order to sell more product. So we've just been, you know, trying to handle that. And I'm like, man, I forgot what it's like to be like constantly ordering and like all this stuff going out and everything. Because to be honest, we haven't been this busy in a little while, pretty much since last fall, I want to say. But even then, I feel like it's been busier because of all these wholesale orders, and that's just been something new that we're learning. So that's pretty much what's been going on. It's just a matter of balancing the super busyness, being super grateful for, you know, this opportunity, the experience, and the growth that we're getting with wholesale orders. And then also being like, but I'm still pregnant and I want to really live in the moment, remember this time, and also kind of get into like that mom mode and make time for that. So, you know, it's definitely a balance, and I know that it's going to be a balance pretty much forever. I know that this is definitely the easiest part. When he's here, it's going to get harder. But at least we have practice now, right? So, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Just give you a little life update, because again, we've just been so busy, and it's nice to just sit down and let you all know what's been going on, what's on my mind during this time, and just to keep you updated, because there's a lot of you that have been following us for a long time. And we just really, really appreciate it. Appreciate your support, appreciate you following us, watching, commenting, which is definitely going to help a lot during, you know, the next few months of being on a maternity leave and, you know, trying to figure out the YouTube situation and all that. I mean, even going back and watching my old videos, commenting and kind of helping like the YouTube algorithm or whatever, that really definitely helps a lot. But with that, I think I'm gonna go get some snacks because I'm hungry. But with that, I am going to end today's video right here. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about stuff. Hopefully you have been doing something productive or been resting yourself during this time and listening to my video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo. And I will see you in my next video. Okay, I don't know if you guys will be able to see. I feel like, you know, like there's the black chair. It's harder to see. We got a baby bump right here.